Welcome back to the Red Crew. It's your boy Chesco. I'm here with Luis.
What's up, guys?
Ray's supposed to be here
Any moment now.
any moment now. Should we?
I don't think it's working.
All right, we'll try that again later. But we're back with another week of the Red Crew. Please make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok. I think we have a Facebook, right?
We do?
Oh, Twitter for sure. We definitely or X. I'm not gonna lie. The first time that new thing came up on my phone, now
The X?
yeah, now it's X. And
I heard about it, yeah.
I felt like I was in trouble.
Elaborate.
I felt like I don't go there to watch like bad things on Twitter, but sometimes they just pop up. You know,
What kind of bad things pop up on Twitter?
like somebody getting shot or
Really?
yeah, or,
On Twitter?
yeah, like or something like sexual, like porn and things like that. It's uncensored.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's uncensored. So
Uncensored, like altogether?
What?
Like if I put up a picture, an inappropriate picture,
oh
it's not going to get taken down?
yeah, you full triple X, you could go.
No, there's no way.
Yeah,
That's be boundaries.
you want me to show you?
Sure.
Well, I gotta look it up. See, now that's why I was scared. Let me see.
So as you look it up, go ahead and start telling me about this.
So, hold on, but is that? I gotta put some focus here, cause
Yeah, but I thought you could. You're a gymnast. You could talk and chew gum at the same time. Walk and chew
I
gum.
can, but I'm not chewing gum, man. You realize this?
Okay, but you're doing two things at once. You could be doing two things at once.
So I gotta put the volume down, cause I don't want to get in trouble. Damn. I think it's also cause my algorithm, like I don't not things bad things don't pop up, cause I searched a very bad thing. See, look, Twitter.
That's on Twitter?
Yeah,
The hell?
yeah, it's constant. I'm telling you, constant. So, if that's what you search, so like I said, I don't search that stuff, so it doesn't really pop up. But every now and then somebody retweets something, and it pops up on their feed, and it don't matter what it is, you see it, right?
Yeah, because somebody
Exactly,
would,
right? So, what you call it? I don't think that something had popped up, but anyways, I was just like, maybe it did. And then I see this black thing and the X on it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to jail. I was scared, man. But and you can't say Twitter no more.
You can't say Twitter? So what do you say if somebody tweets you? Did you X me?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
The slogan, there's a name for this word.
There's a slogan for Twitter?
There's a name for word, the soliloquy, what is it?
A soliloquy?
No, not soliloquy.
But for what? Describe it.
There's a word that describes a common use term, like YOLO. That's
Oh, what like
a word that describes what, like adjective, verb. What is YOLO?
YOLO is not what? YOLO is a acronym.
No. Anyways, keep going.
I hate when this happens.
When I forget more words.
Yeah, and not only I have no idea what you were talking about. It's not even like I can help you on this.
Like saying Twitter is something that we adopted.
Say that again.
Saying Twitter, like, oh, tweet me. That's a word. That's something we adopted. That was 10 years ago. That wasn't part of our lexicon.
Saying Twitter?
Yeah, saying tweet me.
Yeah, okay.
Or did you tweet this?
It
or
didn't
something
exist.
Exactly.
So what does that have to do with YOLO?
Okay, like so when you say this trumps that, this didn't happen before the word Trump.
No, yes, it did. Trump has nothing to do with Trump, the president.
Didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought it did.
They absolutely just have a small vocabulary.
You think 50 years ago, before Trump was alive, you used the word Trump?
Yes. And Trump was alive 50 years ago.
But before he was famous. And let's look up the origin of the word Trump.
Yes, because that's about winning.
What is the origin of the word Trump? Oh, 1300s from old English, old French trump, long tube like.
Hey, do you ever get scared? Like,
Rarely, but
for
it
example,
happens every once in a while.
I do research to try to bring topics here to the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So this just by coincidence this pops up. Shakira divorced. Ashley Tisdale divorced. Joe Jonas divorced.
Not Joe.
Tom Brady divorced.
Luis divorced.
Yeah. Julio Urias arrested for felony domestic violence on wife. So, in other words, in a few weeks, divorced. All that to say, yo, man. I'm sorry. Britney Spears divorced.
Yeah.
Lakers owner Jeannie Buss says I do. Fast forwarding.
Read this article
Yeah,
in
I'm
10
just
days.
saying. They're like, okay, can we just put it out there? So it's like, you get where I'm coming from?
Does marriage scare me?
No, the fact that it just kind of seems inevitable. Or like, are they all stupid and
I
we're
think
the
it's
only
more.
smart
It's
ones?
definitely more popular, like in mainstream media, and
To get divorced?
no, that it happens.
No, I don't think it's more popular. It's just that first of all, it's easier for them.
It's more common. Sorry, maybe popular isn't the right word. More common
I think it's more accessible. Like,
for people to divorce themselves whenever.
Because
or
divorce
divorce.
is expensive.
Okay.
Divorce is expensive, and
So
it's
don't they have more to lose than we do?
but literally on that they can. When you have more to lose, you can also afford to lose. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like no, and sometimes, for example, let's say you do agree on things. Let's say, you and female A got married, right?
Me and female
No,
A.
okay. Who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Jennifer Lawrence.
Let's say you and Jennifer Lawrence get married.
I don't know. Maybe not so much.
Okay.
So maybe I'll divorce.
See,
her.
you already divorced. See what I mean? It's just it's inevitable. Man.
I don't know. I think my first celebrity crush was Jennifer Aniston. So let's go with Jennifer
Okay,
Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston. All right, yeah, and it's on par for her, right?
Yeah, she can't have kids.
She
so.
got experience.
Divorced.
She got experience on it.
Divorced.
If I'm not mistaken, she's got 2 of them. So
Never mind. Divorced.
So, you and Jennifer Aniston get married. Y'all go and buy 4 houses, right?
Okay.
Y'all gonna divide.
She buys me 4 houses because
She takes 2, you take 2,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
You technically lost 2 houses,
Yeah.
but you can afford because you keep 2 houses. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot easier for them.
Okay.
But you and your girl get married, right?
not hypothetical in this situation.
Yeah.
Right?
You and your girl get married. Y'all have 1 house. Y'all have 1 house, and then you're like, hey, yo, this shit ain't working. You're like, who gives a fuck? You gotta live somewhere. There ain't no other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's maybe why. But
Just because it's easier to lose
exactly,
in the situation.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like, so, like, you could be as mad as you want, but I could go pay my lawyer, and if we have 8 cars, you keep 4, I keep 4. But if we have 1 house, 1 car, a dog, like.
Can't split the dog in half.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do? Well, damn, it sucks, but we gotta stay together. Maybe
So you think the reason why people stay together for longer is
no, but
it's
I don't
because
even
they have
think they're
more to
staying
lose.
together.
No, I'm just saying, like in situations like where you can't afford to lose as much.
Look, I don't know about you. All my friends from high school, there's one that high school relationship still going on. Unfortunately, I'm one of the ones that's not. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
so it's like, how many like friends of yours are?
So what is your fear? Getting married?
But it's like, why do you get divorced? Because something bad happened.
Sometimes people fall out of love. Just fall out of love. It
Yeah.
sucks to say, mostly when you're being married, but I do feel that if you have been married and you fall out of love is something usually pushed you out of love.
Yeah, you fall out of. Yeah, you can fall out of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you fall out of love, it leads you to do some things that people in love don't do. Am I wrong?
If you're
If you fall out of love while you're still within that relationship,
okay. It could. I mean,
how
yeah.
could it not? And
So-
that's what leads to divorce.
I'll tell you how it could not. Self-control.
No, it's fine with self-control, but it's like sometimes you don't realize it. It's like it's lack of a better word, almost a reflex. Like I doubt how many marriages you think are. You know what? I'm not in love no more. Let's get a divorce.
Well, if you get married with somebody, it's because you want to be with them for life, through the good and the bad. So, in the bad, maybe falling out of love, it's about how learning to fall in love again.
So that's what I'm saying. I really doubt that you're like. That's what I'm saying. When you get divorced, just comes something bad happened. I don't think that the bad thing that happened was we fell out of love.
Oh, okay. So you think something bad happened, like
When you fell out of love, then the bad thing happened.
maybe addiction, gambling, infidelity, any one of those things.
Yeah, neglection, selfishness, whatever you.
Correct.
But all those things are bad, right?
Mhm.
So how do you avoid that? Because it seems so simple. We just fell out of love.
Communication. I think having open lines of communication with your partner
Makes you stop falling out of love.
but helps you in identifying the weaknesses within the relationship so that you can work on those weaknesses to build a better relationship.
Okay, it sounds pretty. Yeah, it sounds pretty. It just sounds unrealistic to me. It's like,
It's unrealistic to have open lines of communication with your partner.
but it's like sometimes you can't put your finger on it. You don't know what it is. So I can't even. I want to tell you. But
Be honest even in the moments that feel weird, feel dumb, feel stupid, feel odd. You have to be honest in those moments. Like, I don't know what it is about this moment right now, but something just feels off. Do you feel it too, or is it just me? And of course, it's not like the first time that you feel that feeling.
so how would you handle that conversation? So because
It is a weird conversation now.
my
right?
girl comes up to me, she's like, I feel off. I'm like, all right.
No, but that's the difference between I feel off and I feel like we are off.
Okay. She's like, I feel we're off. I'm like, all right. I'm gonna need more explanation, right?
Okay.
And then she's like, I just can't explain it. I'm like,
No, but you try to identify something
And
that
that's
is
the
tangible. I feel like we're not communicating enough. I feel like we haven't spent a lot of time with each other. I feel there's always something that you can identify in I forgot another word. Ambiguity, is that a word?
ambiguous.
Ambiguity of a situation. There's always, you can always point your finger to something, even if there's an ambiguous situation. Whether it's
I just feel
I
like
feel
those
like
solutions
I'm not
are
being
too
loved.
simple.
How is that too simple?
But it's like, let's talk more, right?
Not talk more, communicate more. People can say a lot of things without
But
communicating
that's my
anything.
thing. Sometimes the reason you're not communicating is because that connection's not there, right? Can you force that connection?
You can't. You don't force connections. You build connections.
That's where I'm not sure. Like, yeah, you build it not on purpose. You build it by now I forgot a word. By proximity, right?
I mean, that could be something. That's something
You
you
build
could do,
it by proximity, by conversation, by things in common, by just being used to each other, by being around each other. But those are things that you don't talk about. You build them, yeah, and you don't
Okay.
communicate about them. They just kind of happen, and that's like the fun thing, the magic about your relationship,
But yeah,
right?
but the building came from the foundations that you set.
But that's what I'm saying. But you didn't. To me, there's a big difference. Foundations that you set organically, and foundations that you set by planning are two big different things.
Look, I think the relationship works best whenever it goes into love organically, and I think you could probably agree with that.
Completely. But when
There-
somebody comes and tell you, I think we're off and we should try to fix this, that's not organic.
No, I think obviously it's not. But you're identifying a problem, a problem. If there's cracks in your foundation for whatever the reason is, you have to make a conscious effort to fill the cracks.
I get it.
Whether that and it's not going to be an organic situation, other than the fact that
And
you're
that's what
having
I
to
mean.
communicate.
There's a
Okay.
contrast of like you are fixing what you build with the complete opposite. Like, and I get it,
but
man.
that's okay.
I get.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, but I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's not bad to try, but I'm like, does it really work?
I can tell you how it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work if both people aren't trying.
No, but you could try. But again, the answers aren't like right in front of you. Like, if you don't find those answers, because again, the biggest problem is identifying the problem.
Agreed.
Because when two people didn't do anything wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the surface, and they're off, to me is a big problem.
It's a huge problem.
But that I'm sorry, I'm trying to say it's a big problem where it might not be fixable. Because
I think most situations are fixable if if both partners want the relationship to work.
but yeah, fixable in the sense of settling.
I think there's always going to be a degree of settling in some sort of situation.
And that's where I go back to like a lot of our the especially in our community and the way we were born, and especially in Hispanic culture, it's more of a sense of, yeah, of course you love each other, but it's more of a being used to each other and being like, yo, that's just the person I gotta be with. So that's why there's so
I think
many.
that's older culture though, but and
Yeah, it's very
to a sense it works for them.
no, and yeah, it's very what you like to say, old.
It is old school. Yeah,
It's very old school, but also, I don't know.
but that's the best way to.
No, not only that, old school. Yeah, our grandparents never got a divorce. Also, our grandfathers had 20 kids by 6 different women. Am
Probably.
I wrong?
No.
Right. So it's not like, yeah, they always stayed together, but they clearly had issues. So it's my point. Is like, it is. So is there a fix? Is there ever gonna be a fix? Like, what's the? Or is it, you know what? We're just gonna go into this happy lucky situation where whenever you're sad, come talk to me. Whenever I'm sad, go talk to you, and you gotta pretend like you know the solution.
Look, it's not as about pretending that you know the solution. And I think if you pretend in any situation that is serious enough to have a situation like this, have a conversation like this, it's not gonna work. Where I'm going with that is, it's definitely a complex situation. You're not wrong. But if you're not trying, if in a situation where there's so much ambiguity that you don't know where to even start, you start with communicating, start with talking. Do you feel the same way that I do? If I'm having this conversation with you and you and I are partners and I'm going with you and I just feel like there's something off, I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like we're connected the way that we should be. And do you feel that and you say no? Then maybe it's something that I'm feeling. Maybe it's something that I'm feeling and I have to identify that where it is.
Mm-hmm.
If I want this relationship to work, I have to identify where those feelings are coming from, are originating, the genesis of the situation, so that I can come up to you with a more defined conversation. Because it's unfair to you for me to say, yeah, I feel like there's something that's lacking in this relationship, but I'm not able to tell you what it's like in this relationship when you don't feel that way.
Okay.
Maybe what it's like in this relationship is that I don't feel enough affection for my partner. But if you can't communicate that in a productive manner, then you're never going to get that from the other person. So you have to first identify what the problem is, or at least be able to find some sort of genesis in the situation so that you can communicate and start somewhere and build from there the line of communication.
I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a bad approach.
Well, okay, what would be your approach in a situation like
I don't
that?
know. That's why I'm
Divorce?
saying. Not getting married for starters. It's like, I don't understand the concept of marriage in the first sense. I think like everybody who tells me the concept of marriage uses a lot of old school
Because it is an old
verbiage.
school. It's an old school mentality.
But they want to go with a new school approach. I'm like, that's contradictory. Okay. Second of all, because yeah, marriage is very old school, but also guess what marriage was? It was very simplistic, which was man goes to work, comes home, woman caters for man, woman takes care of home, man takes care of income.
Are you look?
That's what it was.
But there's two different things. There's a marriage and a relationship.
No, marriage.
No, because a marriage, by the definition of it, is when two people come together under the name of the Lord to be with one another because they feel love or they love one another more than anybody else in the world, right?
Okay.
A relationship could be the man goes to work, the female stays at home. That's a relationship. A relationship could be like that, old school or not, whether they're married or not.
But here's the difference: when you're married, now there's this, which I agree with, where cohabitation becomes a must.
Mm-hmm.
Building a family becomes a must, right? And with all due respect, I do believe in God and all that, but I think bringing in all under the eyes of the Lord, I think is all bullshit. Why? Because then we go and break all those vows, right? And like, I don't think that that's the reason I have a little bit of an issue when people bring that into anything. It's because you're painting such a fine line that nobody follows. Like because when you're dealing with the highest power there is, you're never gonna reach it. So it's like,
Agreed.
if that's your standard, it's like you're killing yourself in the foot. So I put that to the side. What I'm saying is marriage does obligate you to do a few things, which is live together, right? Become a family. Now you are part of my family. You're not just my girlfriend. We're not just in a relationship.
You're my wife.
You're my wife,
Correct.
right? When you're in a relationship, I'm not obligated to provide for you. When I'm in a marriage, I am. At least that's the way I see it.
Relationship is both girlfriend and marriage.
I get it, but the marriage is what changes.
We're talking about the okay.
Of course, it's like, yeah, a shower's a bathtub. A bathtub's not a shower. Like, but it's, yes, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, you're not in a marriage. So, it's what I'm saying. If you can build a strong relationship for time, of course, I think you have a better chance at marriage. Doesn't guarantee anything. Nothing guarantees anything. But I feel like how people rush things, and like I said, 2 to 5, 6 years thinking that's a long time. I don't care how old you are. To me, that's one of the reasons that everybody's getting divorced now. Second of all, it's the openness that sexuality has become over the last 20 years has made it harder
to stay in a marriage,
to stay monogamous for anybody, because I think 20 years before, sex and love were mutually exclusive, or at least that's what they were portrayed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Make
love.
It was very taboo for you to go outside of that. Of course, people did it, but it was basically a sin to do it.
I mean, it still is a sin.
But let's be honest, it happens every day now. Now there's not the shame that it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care how holy you are. If you are the nicest person in the world and you're hanging around people who are shooting and killing and robbing, I'm sorry, that's gonna rub off on you. I'm not saying you're necessarily gonna become them, but parts of them are gonna get stuck on you. Character traits, small things that you don't even realize. I'm not saying that if your girlfriend or your sister or whoever is cheating on her husband, you're gonna go cheat on your husband. No, but it's not just that, oh, she cheated and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of character traits that go with that. And some of them aren't necessarily the most positive. And some of them, whether you like it or not, are going to rub off on you.
Okay.
It's just, it happens here all the time. You know, we all come with an ideology. And a year later, we realize that we're seeing things the way he was looking at things. Or the way he looked at things.
And then next day, I have Jordans.
Exactly. You see where I'm coming from? You become who you're with.
You're right. I shouldn't have gotten Jordans.
You become who you're with. So now,
Jordans are horrible.
and you know what's the scariest part? Your girl is the nicest girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not saying your girl, just your
Yeah,
proverbial girl.
But she is the nicest girl.
Your proverbial girl. Now, trust me, where I'm going with this example, you don't want her to be.
Oh, okay. this other girl.
Yeah, your proverbial girl, right?
Yeah.
She has her group of friends, right? When in your eyes, they're all good people. They are, right? And just by things of life, you realize that in the next 10 years, they're divorced. Not because they did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're just divorced, right?
Yep.
The thing is that you don't fucking know if they did anything wrong. You ain't never gonna know. They might have not.
Yeah.
And that is the company that your proverbial girl kept. And I think that's such a big problem. And we can't control it anymore. Because, again, the openness. Now, when the friends that she goes to work with that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The friends that she has at the gym that you don't know. The friend that she has a Zumba class that you don't know. The friends that she has a whatever. You can't control that environment. And it's vice versa. I'm not just putting this on women. Same thing for women on men. So that's why I think it makes it so hard. And it's harder to keep a relationship nowadays without you being, I don't want to say the word open-minded, but without you being a little bit more flexible, maybe. It's harder. So as soon as they go against those old school values that a lot of us men have, if you do this to me, it's over. As soon as there's a glimpse of it or there's a slip up, what do you have to do?
Leave them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I think that.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with sticking to your boundaries.
No, there's not necessarily nothing wrong with that, but that's the reason we have more. That's answering the question. Why is there so many divorces?
You're assuming that the one thing
This is not one thing, Luis. There's just so many things. Because we always go to cheating, right? It's not necessarily cheating.
No, but I mean, in this situation, I feel like it is.
That's your only boundary?
I mean, that's like that. I feel like that is the biggest boundary within men.
I don't think that's my biggest boundary.
Okay, what is another boundary?
Stealing from me is a huge boundary.
Okay, that's.
Disrespecting like my parents is a huge boundary.
Yes.
Like,
I guess I don't really see that happening. That.
so you see cheating happening?
The most probable one, unfortunately, that could happen is probably cheating because you can control the situation.
No, and again, I don't think that she's gonna wake up one day and decide to disrespect.
Yeah,
my
no,
mom. I'm just saying. But
no, yeah, I guess
if her and your mom get into an argument over anything,
yes.
One can cross a line by accident one day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a boundary, right?
Yeah, yes.
So what do you do at that point? It's what I mean. It's like it's not black and white. It's not black and white.
As much as we want it to be, it's not.
It's not black and white.
And that's the worst part about it.
Yes, it's not black and white. So what do you do at that point? That's a big boundary that we all have. But in the heat of the moment, she said something she shouldn't have.
Yeah. I'm not going to cook for you. Ooh, we're done.
But is apologizing enough?
It depends how you do it.
There we go. Now, and that leads me to this. And I don't know why, but this made sense to me.
Okay.
Ladies, I want you to make sure that I'm not the one saying this. And I quote.
Not me, somebody else.
If I cheat on you and you find out, I can't trust you no more because you went through my phone.
I heard that too.
As ironic,
but there's truth in both.
Exactly.
There's truth in both.
As ironic as it is,
truth in both.
It's true. Am I tripping or is it true?
No, there's some truth to it.
There's truth to it. Right? All right, so I'll repeat, and I quote, it wasn't me. If I cheat on you and you find out, I can't trust you no more because you went through my phone.
There's a level of truth to that.
There's a level of truth to that. And you can't get mad.
If you decide to stay in the relationship, then yes.
No, but why were you in the relationship anyway if you went through the phone?
Okay, look.
What's first, the chicken or the egg?
But there's definitely a worse evil.
No, it's not.
Looking through the phone versus cheating.
That's subjective, first of all. Now, second of all,
So let's break it down. Between you and I, do you think one is better than the other?
yeah,
Okay.
but I know that my voice is not God's voice.
Absolutely. But
So it's
let's say that.
subjective.
Would you say that our subjective opinion might be the popular opinion?
Could be.
Could be. What is the chance of that?
Okay, second of all, some people look at this way, and cheating is a part of a relationship. Some people look at it that way.
Some people look at cheating being part of the relationship or having polyamorous relationships.
Because I think, and I'm not necessarily against these people. I just don't think I could do it. Some people understand that the person that you're with is flawed.
Okay.
So a person with flaws is gonna commit flaws. It's gonna commit issue. It's gonna commit sins. So they are
Not
willing.
necessarily.
What?
A person with flaws is gonna have flaws. I completely agree with
No,
that.
you're
But you're hoping and you're with them for the fact that you, or for the opinion, the thought that you believe that this person isn't going to hurt you. They might sin, they might do all those things, so you could be right, but they're not going to do it to you.
What?
They could steal, but they're going to steal from you. They could cheat, but they're not going to cheat on you. You're going to cheat on the test.
But here, let's put it this way. They say there's a lot of people, and I agree with this.
Okay.
There's a way that you could commit a mistake and cheat, right? There is no committing a mistake and stealing.
No, there's not committing a mistake in cheating.
Yes, there is.
How?
Okay, if you get drunk, if you just...
That's not a mistake.
That is a mistake.
That is not a mistake. I'm
How
sorry.
is that not a mistake?
Well, I don't care how inebriated you are. If
You lose control of your inhibitions when you drink too much.
then you shouldn't be getting drunk.
That was the mistake.
No, you chose to drink.
Yes, you made the mistake. Of course you chose it. Nobody forced anything down.
Okay,
That's what I mean.
Choosing to do something is not a mistake.
It's absolutely a mistake. What do you mean?
I disagree. I disagree with the with the excuse.
No, it's an excuse, but it's it's a wrongdoing you committed, which is a mistake. Now,
It's a wrongdoing you committed, but I disagree that it's a mistake. You made that. Maybe it's because I haven't.
Hello? Yeah. Mhm. 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 Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, voy a ver. All right, bye. All right.
Okay, maybe it's because I've never gotten to a situation where I'm so inebriated, where I'm completely and utterly out of control of my inhibitions. I've never gotten to a point. I've gotten to a point where I was very, very inebriated, but never to a point where I felt like I cannot make a judgment call in the situation.
No, not only you can't make a judgment call. Sometimes you make the wrong judgment call.
No,
No, yeah,
again,
you haven't. I get it.
yes, and
But
maybe that's it
a
comes
human
from.
being can. And if you make the wrong judgment call,
Look, I feel like
that doesn't make you this
if
incredible
you
monster.
cheat when you were inebriated, it's because those thoughts were there before you were
No, and it's
inebriated.
not just inebriated. You could cheat at any time. And
Okay, then that's even worse. If you cheat at a point where you're not inebriated, then you definitely did it. Then it's definitely not a mistake because you did it consciously.
Luis, a bad judgment call is a mistake. And if you make a bad judgment call, whether you're drunk or not, and then you realize it, you apologize for it. You could do
I
whatever you
agree
want
that a
for it.
bad judgment call can be a mistake. That it's not always a mistake. If I'm coaching soccer and I say, you know what, as a good strategy, I think that you should score on yourself. That's a bad judgment call and a mistake.
Believe it or not, that's happened.
Again, you did it on purpose. You chose.
But it was like, again, it's depending on what you're thinking at the time. Of course, you want your and this is what I mean about the person being flawed, because a person flawed is gonna do the wrong thing. Okay, we're talking about the bad things of a person that every human being has.
Like, we're all
Right?
gonna make mistakes as
Okay.
humans. I agree with that.
Exactly.
I don't think that a mistake that we think that the person we're with is gonna make is gonna be being unfaithful to us.
Of course, nobody does.
Okay,
And clearly, not everybody's right.
obviously.
So is my point. It's like, we've been through this. Not every person that cheats is this horrible person. It's a person who made a
guess,
bad judgment call at a given point.
But not a mistake.
Okay, you don't want to call it a mistake. I'll call it a mistake. To me, is when you make the wrong call at one point. To me, is a mistake.
Okay, so yes, you're right. It is a mistake. What I meant to say, it's not a unconscious mistake.
What do you mean? No, it's not unconscious.
Okay, that's all I was going.
So why does it have to be unconscious?
Because we were talking about being inebriated.
Oh no, but that's one of the. But let's say there's no difference for us whether they're unconscious or not.
No, I agree.
So it's like it's whether if you make them, but a lot of people understand that that's a mistake that somebody can make.
Okay.
That's not an incredible hard mistake to commit. Let's be honest, because falling to temptation is also a part of being a human being, right? So when you fall to temptation, that's a flaw that you have that somebody can fall victim to.
Okay.
To fall to temptation, which would
Mm-hmm.
means they cheat. And there's some people who's like a person has to grow through that. I'm not necessarily saying I'm that guy. I'm not.
That you're okay with going through that?
No. That I have to accept the growth, that I have to help them grow through that. To me, that's my line.
Agreed.
Okay, but do I think that it's not a possibility that my person is not flawed enough to commit it? Or do I see that there's good people who can commit that flaw? Absolutely. I think that there's very good spouses, very good husbands who can commit that flaw, who can fall to temptation, who can fall to a moment of weakness, who can whatever, right? Now, is that moment of weakness, is that temptation, is that flaw enough to throw everything else away? Some people say no. Now,
Yeah.
some people say that it's worse that because I've never met a person that went through a phone that thought about it that second.
Say it again.
Never met a person that went through a phone that thought about it that second. They went through that phone. They put in recon. They found out the password.
Okay.
Exactly. There's been a lot of time.
It was a deliberative.
There's been a lot of deliberate thinking and planning that went into going into that phone.
Okay.
And you decided to not trust this person and follow through with that plan. Some people say that may be worse than falling victim to a moment of weakness or to a temptation, which is instant reaction.
Okay. Which one do you weigh more? Of course, this is subjective to everybody, right?
Subjective, yeah.
Lack of trust, which is in all, it's for lack of a better word, could be jealousy or lack of commitment. Is that what you would call it? Lack of commitment,
They're both lack of commitment.
lack of self control.
Okay, let's be honest. If it's outside of cheating, do we really care about self-control?
And this is the only situation that I would be okay with. This would be a situation.
Like, no, I could care less about the self-control.
Exactly.
Because if your girl goes...
Exactly. You could care less about self-control. If she didn't have self-control to look through your phone, you could care less about the self-control. But you do care less. You do care more about the infidelity.
Yeah, but your example for infidelity was self-control because the other one was mistrust.
Yes, mistrust is pretty much
the mistrust was the phone one, right?
Mistrust is jealousy,
the phone,
which is the phone. Correct.
And the other one was
self-control,
which was the phone as well.
No, which is the phone, but it falls more toward. I meant it more towards
exactly. But that's what I mean. That's a small issue in the bigger picture.
But
of course,
you made
I
my
mind
point.
the infidelity more. But the self-control means little, nothing. Do you care if your girl goes and hits a lady? Are you gonna leave her for that?
Depends which lady.
If she hits a girl, like your friend.
I don't care.
If she hits your friend, you don't care.
Okay.
What happened with the self-control there? Fuck
but that's where that's the only place where I would place self-control in the situation is in
we're trying to
infidelity.
excuse it to put it on her. What was her flaw? When it's really about our pride.
What's about her pride?
No, it's about our pride. It has nothing to do with her self-control. We don't care that she did or didn't have self-control. We don't care that she did or didn't mistrust. We don't care any of that. We care that she cheated on us. And it hurts our ego.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That was it. So it's like, it has nothing to do with mistrust, self-control, lack of temptation, whatever you want to call it. And that's where some people are mature enough to be like, I got to put my ego to the side.
I think you're mixing two different conversations now, though. One we're talking about was one worse than the other.
The reason you leave your girl
because
she cheated on you, it's only because you're hurt and your pride is hurt.
Yes, my pride wouldn't be hurt if she looks at my phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But at that point, it's a selfish reaction when something should be about the relationship, right? About both of y'all. Willing to work it out. What's the best for the relationship? Honestly, the fact that we leave our girls when they cheat on us is nothing more most than just a selfish reaction because we're hurt and our ego's hurt. Nothing more.
I agree with that.
Which is not the right answer. It's clearly something we shouldn't do. We should never.
No, but it also has to do with her lack of commitment into the relationship.
Again, but if for lack of commitment into the relationship, if let's say if your girl doesn't show up to something that you wanted to go to.
No, but there's levels to it. There's levels to lack of commitment.
But what makes the level? Nothing more than our pride.
What constitutes the level?
Nothing more than our pride.
Sure, it could be a pride. No, I disagree.
It's nothing more than our pride.
No, I disagree. I think it has to do with more than just her pride.
There's a million examples of how she can break commitment to a relationship and you wouldn't care enough.
Okay, respect, but it has to do with okay, call it respect, call it whatever you want. If you cheat on me, you've lost. You've disrespected me.
Mm-hmm.
You've shown me that you're not committed to this relationship in a way that you would prefer to be with somebody else.
But that's not true. That part's not true.
The prefer part?
Yes.
Okay, the fact that you've chosen to be with somebody else, that part is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a moment.
It doesn't matter.
In
a moment when we are in a relationship.
Yeah, but it matters.
It doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
It doesn't matter. If you're in a relationship and you're committed to the relationship, then it doesn't matter if it's in a moment after we fought or a moment when you got home from work or a moment where you felt ugly or a moment where you felt pretty. It doesn't matter what the moment is. If the moment happened when you're in the relationship, you're not committed to the relationship.
So?
What do you mean so?
But here's my thing. If she shows you 10 examples of her not being committed to a relationship, none of them are not cheating, right?
Okay.
None of them are
cheating.
Any of them.
Correct.
You wouldn't leave her.
Again, it depends on the situation, and it depends on the frequency of those things.
No, but again, let's say she in 10 years she commits 10 sins of not being committed to a relationship.
Okay.
Then when you just give that same statement that you gave me, it shows that you're not committed in a relationship. The fact that you cheated on me, and her answer is like, yeah, but I've shown 10 times before that I'm not committed to a relationship. How come you didn't cheat? You didn't
No,
leave me
because
there?
there's different gravities to the commitment. I'm not gonna weigh you not showing up to my birthday on time the same as you cheating on me. I'm not going to weigh the same. I'm not gonna weigh. I don't know what's something else that shows that you're not committed to a relationship. You're not wanting to go to my Thanksgiving the same way that I'm gonna go weigh you cheating on me. I'm not gonna weigh you choosing to watch a show that was supposed to be our show without me versus you cheating on me. All those things have different ways.
Of
And
course,
they're
those are very simple. Let's say a family member dies.
Okay.
Right? A family member dies.
Okay.
And you have to fly out.
Mm-hmm.
You would want her to go.
Okay.
And she tells you she can't go.
Why not?
She has a decent reason. I don't know.
Okay.
There's millions of decent reasons.
Okay.
She has a decent reason.
Okay.
She doesn't go.
Okay.
She has her decent reason. That's a huge example of not being committed to a relationship.
Again, I weighed that less than her cheating on me.
And here's my point.
It's like on the score of like of 0 to 100, 100 being
Cheating is the biggest one.
cheating is like you got extra credit.
And I'm with you. So am I.
Okay.
But I also realize that that's a stupid view for me.
I don't.
Why?
I don't think that is a stupid view.
Because I'm looking at it as I'm the man. You can't put one over on me.
No, because it's not about you being the man and she can't put one over you because the boundaries are set the same the other way around. I'm not going to be doing that same thing to the other person because what it represents, which means a lack of commitment a complete lack of commitment to a relationship.
No, okay, you're saying you won't. I'm saying I don't think anybody, we're talking about a good person that cheats here, right? A decent human being that you married. I don't think a decent human being ever goes into a marriage planning on cheating. Just like
you would hope not, right?
They will all say what you just said.
A decent person.
And then something happened that they did.
Okay.
Right? That person went in with your mindset. I would never do it.
Okay.
But they did do it.
Yes, they did.
So you have a thought in that mind saying, I get it. I fucked up.
Yes.
I fucked up and there's no excuse for what I did.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not me. I can give me a chance. Can I fix it? All of that, right?
And some people are willing to go ahead and give the other person a chance.
Why?
For a lot of reasons. It could be because they are afraid to not be with that person. They are doing it for the kids because
Or they believe them.
Or they believe them. There's consequences for every single thing that you do. Everything that you do. Cheating is one of them. There's consequences to cheating. Even if I do decide to for whatever chance give you a second chance, there's going to be consequences to the fact that you cheated on me in the first place. Am I going to trust you? Am I going to be okay with you going out all of a sudden with your girls? Am I going to be okay with you doing some of the things that you were doing before that may not have led you to the cheating? No. I'm not going to be okay with it. And if you're not okay with me setting those extra boundaries after you've cheated on me, then that's not okay. That's not an okay relationship for us to be in, and you can bounce.
And I agree with that. My issue is, all right, so do you consider your girl a ride or die?
I think it's too early to judge. If I had to go off with what I've seen in their relationship, I would say yes.
Would you consider yourself a ride or die?
I would.
What signifies dies?
What is the equivalent? I mean, I'll be with you through the thick of it, through the worst parts of our lives. Okay, but to me, the worst parts of our lives are the worst parts of our individual lives.
Oh, so not together.
Not together. Like I lost my job, or my family passed, somebody in my family passed away, or I got into addiction, or I gambled my money away. That would be ride or die. Like if you decide to stay with me through that time.
When she fucked up for herself.
Yes.
Not for us.
Not for the relationship. No.
Okay. I don't think a lot of people would agree with that.
I mean, they can if they want to, but if they don't want to, that's okay.
I don't. Yeah, I think that's
kind
of easy.
A ride or die.
Because it has to affect me in a way.
No, I don't consider that a ride or die.
No.
Look, even in the situation of ride or die, you're choosing not to ride or die for the relationship if you choose to be unloyal. If you choose to be
no, but the definition of ride or die is it comes from the metaphor of a woman or man who's supporting a criminal. That's the definition of a ride or die. Obviously, a criminal committed a crime, right? Okay, right? So you gotta stay with the criminal through the crime. So yeah, obviously that's the metaphor where the metaphor comes from. So
but let's say that like you and I ride or die, right?
Yeah.
But I do something to you personally, that no longer becomes a ride or die.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in the metaphor of the what is it called? As thick as Steve's?
No. But look at this.
Even in the same metaphor.
Of course. But if you come and you fuck me over, and I'll use ET. Actually, ET can tell you for a fact. There's a dude. Hasn't fucked me over in the worst ways, but yeah, there's been some fucked up situations, and then I fuck you over. And we were really close. Thick as thieves.
Yeah.
I'm desperate and I call you because I'm in jail. You get me out or no?
No.
And that's what the definition of ride or die is. Of course, you don't necessarily stick together. That's where the metaphor comes from.
Okay.
Where it's like, I got you. Yeah, you fucked up. Of course, you didn't kill me or nothing because that would be the worst. But you fucked up, but I still got you.
No, but not. I don't think that would even apply. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that the situation is the same if you fucked me over. Because if you fucked me over, you're showing your true colors that you're not my ride or die. So if you're not my ride or die, then why should I be yours? Yeah,
not that simple.
It never is that simple. We talked about black and white,
and
it never is black and white. It's always a shade of gray. And as much as we want it to be black and white, in a situation where it's ride or die, it's going to be a personal definition. And my personal definition is I will be with you through anything. But if you fuck me over in some sort of way, I'm not. We're done. And that's the same through friendships as it is through relationships.
Okay.
If I'm with you and we're ride or dies and we go through the whole progress of getting this podcast to be where we want it to be, and when we get to the top and we're there, you show your cards and you say, you know what, you're out, you're getting cut out of everything, I'm done with you, I don't need you anymore, you get nothing from here, and I legally don't have any way of proving that I've contributed the sweat equity that we talk about. You fucked me over. The time that I've spent here giving that sweat equity is time that I could have spent on any other endeavor or any other person or any other situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're fucking me over not out of the previous time, but also out of the money that is the potential gains, right? We're done. Like I'm not going to do any other venture with you. I'm not going to do anything else. Now, in a situation where we get to the top,
I agree with that. But that's also the example of to take it to a relationship. That's basically saying, because you're right, but that's basically saying, yeah, you're married, she cheats on you, but decides to stay with the other guy. You kind of got no choice there. So it's like,
okay,
I'm with you. But then I want to make it more complex because obviously that is kind of black and white though.
Okay.
That is kind of black and
Okay,
white.
so make it more complex. Maybe,
Here's where it's not like say we have the podcast situation, right? And throughout the 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it may be, one person,
Mhm.
you are grinding and everything and everything and everything. You putting everything you can into it, and I'm not doing the same.
Okay.
And am I fucking you over? Not giving you the effort? Not helping you? Not aiding you?
Not if there's a
And here's what I mean.
Okay.
Where it's complex. That's a part of fucking over.
But
That's a way of fucking over.
if there's an understanding and an agreement that, you're not gonna put in the same amount of effort that I am.
No, but obviously, there's like levels where it's like, yeah, you're not gonna put the same, but it's gonna be somewhere, right? If it's below that, if it's above that, there's never a clear understanding of that. So, if it becomes subjective, where you're like, let's just put an arbitrary number. You were gonna work at a 3. Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna work at a 6, but you're working at a 3. When we agreed that you were gonna work at a 6, or I was gonna work at a 6, and you were gonna work at a 7, and I've been working at a 3 the whole time.
For how long? For the whole 7 years?
Or whatever. Or I've been working at a 5, or I'm sorry, when I said
And
I
the
was gonna
five,
work at
this
a
number,
6,
this arbitrary number that
Yeah.
you're giving is the level of effort.
You were
Okay.
gonna work at a 7, I was gonna work at a 6, but I've been working at a 5 the whole time.
Okay.
That's the level of fucking you over.
It is, but if I don't say anything, to you,
I'm still fucking you over.
if I don't say anything to you during the process, then,
I still fucked you over.
but that's on me because I never communicated
But that's
that.
where the ride or die thing comes in.
No, but there's a difference. There's a difference, and let's communicate it back to the relationships, right? In a relationship, if a person decides to put, let's say, I'm gonna do the dishes every single day, but they only do it every other day, is that fucking me over? Now, it is, in no way is that fucking me over because if I don't say anything after you told me you're gonna do it every single day, and it's week 2, and now you're doing every other day, but I don't say anything,
That's a
then I'm not
example.
communicating myself.
Better example here. Better example is rent.
Okay.
If she said she was gonna give you $5 for rent, but every month she gave you $4.50,
Okay.
that's definitely fucking you over.
But I have to say something. She gave me $4.50 the first time and I don't say anything. Okay, cool. The second time she gave me $4.50 and I say something, and she says, no, I'll give it to you the next time. Then this is where communication comes into play.
I get it, but of course you'll do it, and then and that's where I'm saying it comes in and out. Next month she'll give you $5.50. Next month she'll give you $4.50. It's never gonna be a constant, and that's where people are like, which one's worse? It becomes subjective, and I get it. You put your own line, and I stick to the fact that men, it's about their ego, and most as mature as they want to be, it's never more than their ego, because women commit so many flaws, so many, that are not necessarily just disrespectful, but they're inconsiderate, and men too. I'm not pointing this just at women. Everybody, that's inconsiderate, that's thoughtful, that's so draining that it's difficult.
Not me.
And we put up with it 100% of the time. We don't say shit. Because why? Because it's not hurting our ego. We don't say anything because it's not going against our pride, because we look like men, because I'm still in charge, because I'm the one. The minute that shit's in question, that's when guys guys don't just consider leaving when they get cheated on.
As you should.
No,
and the same thing goes the other way around.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a lot of things that we put up with. I'm a victim to it. I'm not saying no. How many times I say stop putting me in plans that I have not talked to you about. And guess what? I'm always in plans that I haven't talked to about. You don't think that's inconsiderate? You don't think so?
Oh, I thought it was a hypothetical.
No, it's definitely not a hypothetical question. It's as literal as can be.
Yeah, it's inconsiderate.
That's inconsiderate.
It's inconsiderate for you to actually think without asking me that I'm going to go. And if you get mad at me for saying, well, no, I can't make it, that's even more inconsiderate.
No, I think it's inconsiderate to ask the question.
To ask the question?
Yes.
Why is that inconsiderate? I disagree.
Because now, if I say no, I need a valid reason, right?
Not necessarily. A valid reason could be I don't want to.
Don't I look like an asshole at that point?
That's on her if she wants to think of you as an asshole because you're expressing how you really feel about a situation.
And that's what I'm saying. But it puts me at an impasse that I don't want to be at. So stop asking me to go to parties of people that I don't know. Why would I ever want to go?
I don't know. Maybe they have. Maybe Dustin Poirier is going to be there. Maybe Jorge Masvidal is going to be there.
At a birthday party?
At a
I'll go
birthday-
to that one.
Ah,
Yeah.
see that?
I'll
See
go
that?
to that one.
But if she never asked you, then you would never know.
But trust me, guess how many parties I've been to?
I'm sure many.
Guess how many Jorge Masvidal I've been at?
Maybe the next one.
No. I said guess how many he has been at.
I'm sure 100%.
He has not been at any.
I was wrong.
So, flawed argument. Okay? No, it's inconsiderate to ask the question. Okay?
I disagree that it's inconsiderate to ask a question.
Look, men and women are from different.
It's inconsiderate for her to expect the response to be automatically yes.
No, it's inconsiderate to ask the question.
No, I disagree.
It's inconsiderate to ask the
Disagree.
question. Absolutely inconsiderate to ask the question. It's inconsiderate. You're inconsiderate to your girl. I've always said this. Because you put her at a pedestal that one day she's gonna like do something incredibly innocent.
It's just gonna fall off.
And your dumbass is gonna knock her off like she did anything wrong. Yeah, because you're an idiot. Me, I know my girl is as flawed as can be, and I don't have high expectations, so I'm happy.
The lower the expectations.
The lower the expectations high, and I hope hers for me get lower by the day.
Well,
that's to me that's the key to a happy relationship.
Low expectations.
Low expectations, man.
That's not just a sad relationship.
Look, my expectation is just don't cheat. That's as far as
I think that's a very simple expectation to have in a relationship.
But to me, that's not hard to do. Don't cheat.
Yeah, that should be the easiest.
Yeah,
thing
that's the easiest thing to do. But after that, I don't have no expectation. None. If we have kids, I don't expect them to be smart. Like, I hope they survive. Like 218.
Okay.
What else? Nope. Cooking. It's great, but you don't gotta do it every day. Actually, try not to do it at all. We'll go out. Let's see. Cleaning the house. I pay for a lady to do that. Like, I don't think I'm crazy here.
By the way, I might need your lady's number.
No, you're in a different boat, my friend. You're in a different boat.
Call me your son.
Yeah, you're in a different boat, my friend. You're in a completely different boat. You have to look. I know she won't, but I think if we're being fair, your girl deserves like a hall pass a year. Like,
fuck that.
I know. I'm not saying.
No.
I know she won't, but I'm just saying. Does she deserve it? I think she.
Now you're putting her on a pedestal.
No, I think she deserves it.
No.
Yeah. Like,
okay, I was gonna ask, but now I'm gonna ask.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Okay, your bank account has to be booming. Am I wrong about that?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, your bank account has to be booming. Okay, like what? How much money do you spend a month? Like $300?
No, it's definitely more than that.
Like, do it in what? Buy puzzles and Rubik's Cube.
I bought with 3-4 pairs of shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just this month.
Yeah, it was $400.
A bit more than that, but
around there.
And that's just shoes.
Around there.
I help out.
Oh yeah, we all do. My girl does too. Don't worry. Yeah, my girl does too. But trust me, her bank account doing very good, bro. Yeah, my girl helps out. I'm saying. Like,
no. So your girl does a hall pass too, huh?
Huh?
Your girl.
No, I deserve it.
Oh, you deserve it.
I deserve it.
Ah, okay.
Again, I won't.
Oh, okay.
But I deserve it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like, cause you sleep with nice AC at night. I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
My girl does too.
Okay.
Okay, she has very very nice TVs.
Yes.
Nice TVs, great. Okay, you get to watch the shows you want to watch.
Sure.
There's food in the fridge.
Yes.
It's a nice house, multiple rooms.
Yes.
All of that is provided.
Okay.
And it's great. Shouldn't charge for anything. But I'm just saying, once a year ain't that bad.
No, hey, no, it's detrimental to the relationship. Yes, it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's unfair. People are unfair. Toxic masculinity.
Call it what you want.
Toxic masculinity.
Call it what you want. Is it more toxic masculinity for me not to be okay with a hall pass with my girl than for you to think you deserve one?
Wait a minute. First of all, I'm her advocate. She's not asking for anything.
No, but you said you deserve one.
I do, but I don't want that either.
No, but you say you deserve one.
I deserve a lot of things that I don't have.
So you should have one either way.
Huh?
You should have one
No,
either
I
way.
shouldn't have one. No, I deserve a lot of things. I deserve better help here in the podcast. I don't get it, but I'm fine. I'm not trying to replace it.
The whole
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to replace it. I deserve a lot of things that I'm not necessarily fighting for. You know what I mean? Like, my dad. I'm not saying I deserve a better dad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I feel like you brought him into it. You took him out immediately.
No, I'm just saying. He's got his flaws, man.
Okay.
He's got his flaws. The other day, he calls me over. He's like, hurry up, come over. I'm like, okay. I was here at the studio. I'm like, so I get there. And he calls me. He's like, hurry. I'm like, okay. So I get to his house. He's not at his house. He's at mine.
He didn't tell you.
Like, what do you mean come over? You don't live there.
You want to hear a story about my mom? I was at our coffee shop studying. She calls me. I pick up. I'll start walking around. She's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm studying. Okay. What are you studying for? It doesn't matter, right? I go in and I let her know that I'm having a lot of trouble focusing on my study. I don't know what I have. I don't know if I have ADD, ADHD, but I have a lot of problems focusing on my study. I do 10 questions, 20 questions, and I can't. I have to be doing something else, right? So I tell her all this, and she's like, oh, what you need is my mom has a med spa, so what you need is one of the injections that I have. It'll help you with focusing, right?
She has what?
And like one of the injections, a med spa.
What is that?
Like to do facials and whatnot,
Okay.
right? So I have an injection that has like vitamins in it that will help you with focus. And I'm like, oh no, mom, I think what I need is like Adderall. And her response is like, no, that's what Americans want you to have. That's what Americans make. I said, where did you get your injection? It's like, where do they make your injections? And she's like, well, no, it's because we've done a lot of research on the injection. I said, Mom, don't you think they do a lot of research on this this medicine? It's like, yeah, I know, but that's what Americans want. Again, where do you think they make those injections? I get it. You just want to fight. No, I just want you to have a better argument, and that's what Americans want.
Oh man. So
anyways,
moral of the story is Luis's girl deserves a hall pass, and his mom might be a drug trafficker.
Why did you do that?
I'm just saying.
No, neither one of those two things are
Those
true.
all I took from that story.
Absolutely not.
I don't know what you heard, but that's what I heard. Your mom might be smuggling Adderall into the country.
On the contrary, she's making sure that I don't.
Oh yeah, not Adderall. Whatever the competitor to
vitamins?
Adderall is from Colombia.
The vitamin B complex that she has.
All right. My boy Luis finally put his foot down. So the plan is to be here on Saturday, September 9th. I won't be here, but Luis will be holding down the fort to hopefully a lot more people than came today.
So hopefully.
Please like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe, and please tell your friends about it. Let's get this number. Let's get to 300 as fast as we can. All right. See you next time. Peace.